Hello, this is Priscilla Batzell. I'm in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Fluid Art Studio. That's a 16 by 20 inch canvas that I have pre-primed with with Artist Loft white paint. This is Noxo Omelet Turning Flip and Fold Spatula, my favorite tool. And I'm thinking of doing a stage one where I cover my canvas with pastel colors or very light colors. And so I want to start with ripping the top right off this LuvU pink, which is a primary element. I'm a Colour Arte affiliate, so look for a coupon code underneath the video. And I'm going to try my best to spread some paint in advance of all the colors, which is a weird thing to say, I'm sure, but I think it's the only way I'm going to get a chance to have some solid color that's pale. But I also want some brighter color around it. Boy, that's a lot darker than I expected. And that's not a bad thing. Okay, I have some Plum Blossom and I see that it's ready to be used because it's laying on its side. It's almost empty. A lot of them are almost empty. I have a lot of paint mixing to do and I'm procrastinating. This might look like a pretty gummy, messy experience, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. This is my frosted berry. Plum Blossom is a primary element. I'm planning on bringing in, well, I was planning on bringing in some jasmine, but what I've got and I want to try and use is some pink diamond. I got that first color down, that was enough for me. I think I probably will still use some some jasmine. And maybe some pink carnation also. Which I have standing by. I shouldn't be worried too much about putting the upholstery tack back in the top. This is the pink carnation. I want enough paint to solidly cover an area without too much canvas showing through, and I don't know what the formula is for that, but I've got some periwinkle that I'm going to rip the top off of also. That over there, because that looks like a nice copious amount. Periwinkle is primary element. Actually, no, it's a Vivid Intense Fluorescent. My mistake. I've been having this fantasy about this pale streak up the middle of some bright colors for a while. I'm going to try and get some of these things out of here that don't belong. I hope there aren't too many of them. And that some of them are only bubbles. And that they're not on my spatula. Try and dab that paint over the edge. Keep bringing my excess. Wow. Well, like it or not, I've got to stripe up the middle. I guess if I don't like it, I can get rid of it. I wasn't sure I could. I'd like to leave the paint kind of heavy. That's actually dripping over the edge. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to keep taking my excess scraping it off so I can use it again. And or put it on that edge of the canvas that is round and is hard to cover. I've got enough paint dripping down over my edge so that I want to use it. Oopsie. I'll just pick that up now. And continue on. But that LuvU pink looks very white now. I've got a little bit of canvas showing. I had this problem the other day where some canvas just wouldn't be covered. I'm feeling some orange coming up. And I'm going to try and remind my husband's company that I'm recording and let them know. And maybe they won't talk through my video. Maybe they will. Chances are good. So I should be used to that by now, but I'm not. I never get used to that. Alright, so I'm going to grab that paint chip. Now I used the pre-primed canvas so that I would have a chance to scrape anything off if I so desired. That was the Orange Crush. This is Sour Lemon with Orange Crush in it. I have to decide if I want to use the spatula I've been using with a little bit of color in it. Yeah, I guess I'm going to. Use my mixed colors. Have to pull that down again. Not too hard or I'll get canvas. I love these colors together. I just absolutely love them. It's not turning out to be as light as I was anticipating. And I may do the same thing I did the last time, which is if it's incomplete, I'll just digitally alter it. That's sort of crying out for some saffron. And for me to cover the edge with the colors I've got there. And maybe even drag it out a little further. Not sure what I'm going to put in there, but I am sure that I want to take some of the color on my spatula and utilize it. I'm wondering what color blue I might want, because I'm being called to blue in a big way. Continue to take my excess paint that's on my spatula, put it right along the edge. Although I did put some on there that I didn't really try and cover with. But it held on to the next layer I added pretty nicely. I'm thinking some white, for whatever reason, in between there. Might be kind of neat. So let me grab that. Definitely thinking the blue would be nice. Let me grab a Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula. Let's see if I can clean up that one little spot. There, I don't mind that. I do have a clean spatula if I need one. I kind of want some yellow. What did I use? I was going to use the shiny taffeta and the Isadora, but I wound up using the sour lemon for whatever reason. Sometimes fingers work and sometimes they don't. I'll just leave that alone for right now. I am going to take advantage of the fact that my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula is a really good tool for moving paint. Now, I could wait till it's dry and do this tomorrow, so don't think you have to do it now if you're doing something similar. I'm just moving that paint right up to the edge, hoping I can actually flow it back. There's probably millions of ways to do this, and I'm not proficient at any of them yet. I am inclined to grab a better Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula, my number one. If I get to keep texture, that might be okay. The things you find out by accident are just from trying what you must. But there is Floetrol in my Vivid Intense White, which is what this is. And what that means is it will probably level out pretty much. I want more paint on this other side, and I guess I'm going to risk it. I've got a paint chip between my pinky and the finger next to it. Thank you for waiting. I'm willing to accept whatever texture I get, but I'm probably also willing to try a straw to see if I can level out some things and hope I don't have a whole lot of spit to deal with. I shouldn't really worry about those gaps. I could always fill them in tomorrow, I think. The chances of the white dendriting are actually pretty good. But I tend to think maybe it was because it was a darker color that did it last time. We're waiting for the eclipse today. So it might get really dark here and I might have to turn my lights on. I think that's still wet enough for me to... You know what? I want to grab my small OXO omelet turning flip and fold. Sans the yellow. Which I got a little bit of whether I like it or not. I'm not sure why I'm putting white over white. And I do like the idea of the texture. I'm just not confident at this point that I know what I think I'm liking. Does that make any sense? And I'm planning on using the blue, but I'm wondering if I should wait until it's dry to do it. I want to do some now. I think I'm going to do a little bit of purple first. A little bit of, whoop. Okay then. That's the periwinkle. Gobs of periwinkle. I have a little bit of Sea Dancer. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I think I might need a clean spatula. But I really hate wasting all this paint. Hang on while I wipe off my spatula on the edge of my canvas. And add some unexpected texture. I think I was letting that dry by accident. And I'll throw it in the bucket and grab a fresh one. I don't want to ridge along the edge, but might be too late to save it. Actually, I'll just wipe that off. Yes, that's wonderful color combination. Wipe it off. I do peel off the silicone matte residuals every so often. Do I want some blue? I kind of want some blue. I'm going for the fluorescent again. Hopefully it'll just come right out. A tiny little bit of it. Which may or not. That's a Vivid Intense. Giving myself one more minute of work and then we'll decide what happens. And I might take the time when I'm gone. While you're gone? To work on my edges. Whatever spaces I have left. That blue worked out pretty good. I have a weird spot that I'm trying to get the color to lay down evenly on. Alright, I'm going to paint until time runs out. I hope I don't ruin anything. And then I'll decide if I want to add darker colors over it. I might even decide whether I'm going to let it dry in between. I think it would be a good idea. I might put a little bit of white. No, it came right off. I was going to say put some white over that. So far so good. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Hello. This is not completely dry and I had a couple of issues. I should not have stuck my finger in here anywhere, but I can pretty much fix anything. This was me dragging a spatula through and it's dry enough for me to touch now. I'm going to use some shiny taffeta I think. Right in here. Hopefully I like it. And I might put a little bit of white right up here, just because I might want to blend it in. And that's just because I might want to spread it out. I got something, I just cleaned the tiny little filaments that form on the edge of the spatula off, but evidently I didn't remove them too completely. So that was what that was. I see something else in there too. Probably another one. Nope, something much bigger. I have a choice to leave a white edge or not. Definitely want to mix that up. I might even risk trying to mix it with my finger just to see if I can. Hopefully I'm not completely blocking your view. As long as I'm here, I might as well use my finger. See how it works. I've got another filament in there. I will say that if you don't pre-prime the canvas, you probably got a much better chance of your sticky paint staying on the canvas should you decide to do something foolish like I did, like stick your finger in to repair something that was unrepairable. So I'm going to take residual on my spatula, hopefully. And if I don't like it, that's okay, because I can always, what I'm thinking is using the new Purley Pigments added to some varnish, some Jo Sonja varnish. And I can get a little closer to that pink because I know I can clean it up with a Q-tip if I want to. But I'm pretty sure the warmth from my hands is going to set the paint up somewhat. What I want to do is wipe this off completely and use a dry one. Try and swipe through. Q-tip is, whoa, okay, that was a big mistake. That was heavy pink and it wasn't dry at all. And what am I going to do about that? I think what I'm going to do is learn to live with it. I'm lucky it wasn't any worse. I'm going to go back one more time. Hope I can get away with a finger. And then I think I'm going to add a little bit more white right in here. Okay, in this case maybe the Chantilly lace is more likely what I want to add. Somehow I need to get this smooth, or at least cohesively marked. I'm glad that wasn't any worse. I'll take whatever I've got and put it right over my edge. Chantilly lace coming right up. This I might have to put in with a finger also. If it's thin, I can probably get away with it. The layer of paint underneath, I mean. Yeah, that's not really bothering me, but this looks like a fingerprint. With a little bit of canvasy texture showing through. I'm really not convinced that I'm done yet. And I'm totally thinking of the pale blue, the Frostbite. I don't want to go overboard. There, that's not actually bothering me. I didn't realize my white was going to take longer to dry than my colors though. I do have a little dot of color in there that I need to remove. No idea where it came from. And I've got a cat hair on the end of my tweezers. Come out, you. I am definitely thinking that it might be kind of fun to mix up some of those Purley pigments. I haven't done it yet, and I've had my stuff came in the mail 2 days ago. And it's definitely time. I think if I'd have waited till it was completely dry, I might have been better off. I'm going to take, hopefully, the Frostbite. And blow it out. Or do the same thing I've been doing. Let's see how I feel about it when it's dry. In the meantime, sharpen that point up. And what do I see over here? I see some canvasy texture, and it's dry enough to put some pink carnation in there. I hope. Helps if you go all in one direction, but if that direction you pick isn't working, go the other direction. Alright, maybe there'll be something I can do with this later. And maybe not. It's not that bad, right? I'm going to take a little bit of pink carnation and my tweezers and try and add a little bit of color just to plump up my spots. I can't say that that really worked very well. But potentially it's not any worse than it was. And I'm trying things I'm not going to recommend. So now I've got a line through there. Obviously there are times when brushes would come in very, very handy. This is dry. I'm not sticking my fingers in there anymore. But I am, since I'm here right now and I want to, I'm going to stick a little bit of more. I'm going to add a little more. Add a little more paint. My articulate nature is not so articulate today. Looks like I got a couple more places I stuck my fingers in. And I got some missing paint on the edges, but I think that'll be easy to fix once everything's dry. No more canvasy edge showing. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. I'm back. This is dry from yesterday. I've been to Michael's. I picked up myself a $9 5-piece package of brushes that I could use with varnish without feeling like I was going to ruin anything precious. And I am going to mix a few colors of Purley Pigments, new ones, and ones I've had. Oh, that doesn't look as clean as it should be. Never mind that one. I've got some Jo Sonja Varnish. Gloss varnish. That one doesn't look as clean as it should be either. My goodness. That one's got a cat hair in it. I'm not good at this, evidently. But this ought to be a good enough start. So I'm going to try some Jo Sonja Glass Varnish, and I'm going to start with the magenta. Pure magenta. This is a Purley pigment. And I have shaken it, but I want to shake it again. It's got little balls in it like nail polish. I'm going to try one drop. Put that someplace stable. Grab one of those brushes. I think that's a good idea. Grab maybe all of those brushes. I should have put some water in my brush rinse dish. So there are my brushes, and they're fortunately taped together. Let's just see what happens. Alright, so I'm going to take that Jo Sonja Glass Varnish and get it out of my way. Put this back down again. I thought I was going to use the spoon. But mostly what I'm going to do is play with this someplace that I can see the color change. Sorry about my head. This is right on top of that orange crush. Now, I don't play with brushes very much lately, so forgive me if I'm a little bit out of practice. I still want to use my fingers. Now, fortunately, like I said, the painting is dry, which means I can lean on it if I want to. With the exception of that one little tiny spot that I fixed right before I started the recording. This is basically a varnish at this point. I do imagine more coats will make it more intensely colored. And I'm really dying to use a spatula to apply it instead of a brush. But I'm going to try and grab a little water. Actually, why don't I just put it in one of these cups and hope that that's good enough. It's one of my restaurant cups. I brought a rag to dry my brush with. I kind of want to dry brush it. I'm definitely up for using a purple next. But right now, I'm not done playing yet. So hoping my head isn't blocking you. I want to go up into that blue. I'm going to put a little more Jo Sonja Glass Varnish in there before it starts to get dried out. One drop is a lot. I did bring a little paint tray. This might have been not my best idea since I have no practice doing it. But I figured you were owed. Alright, let's grab some blue. I don't think it'll hurt my feelings any. Let's grab a small container again. And what do we have? I have elderberry, which looks beautifully blue. Oh, it's sealed. Never mind. Let's pick a different color. I know. I have Vibrant Aqua. I've used this before and I love it. One drop. Come on. One drop and a bubble. I think some of it just wound up in my yellow. I'm going to use the wrong end of the brush to stir that in. And then wipe it off. I want to use that where and wipe off a. So I'm a little clumsy yet. Let that go right over the side. Seems like I got a little water in my brush. I like that showing through on the white. Bodes well for the future. Pretty sure I got the wrong brushes. Got to start somewhere. I haven't failed yet. I need a little more. I expected the turquoise color to turn blue on the pink. Still fun for the first try. I don't give up easily. But I want to cover that. And I have a lid. Do I want to put it anywhere else? No, I just want to fix what I've got. Go back over here. grab some more. There isn't a lot of varnish in there either, I have to say. But that might be because my inclination is to have strong colors. I have to give up on the idea that I can get perfect strokes right now. I'm just not practiced enough. It's extremely sheer, so I shouldn't expect anything to cover anything. That's going to be that. I think I'm going to cheat a little. Maybe if I can do just one stroke at a time and wash my brush out. Maybe I'm not done with the color I've got. That kind of didn't hurt anybody's feelings. I'm thinking of yellow. I already like what I've got. I'd like that to be a little cleaner at the end though. And I still want to cover this now that I've had some. I want to find something that's yellow or orange. Put that right over here. Maybe take another lid, put it over the magenta for now. I wish I knew how long it would last in the air, because then I would put some in my dish. I need to really rinse this brush out, or I need to grab a new one, because I'm nervous that the turquoise that's in there will turn the yellow. I might just grab a new one. So this is the yellow. This is mellow yellow. Why don't I put the drop down first this time just to see? Helps if I use the eyedropper, I guess. Okay, I've got 2 drops in there, but yellow is notoriously sheer. I kind of want an orange, but yeah, I kind of think I like tapered brushes better, like in rounded. I'm just trying to make use of the paint on the mixing part of my brush. I think with a little practice I could get to like this a lot. And maybe the right brushes would help. It's too late to go back now. I think I'm going to use this to clean up the rest of that. It's kind of spotty. Seems to be a very good stain. It's really, really super bright. I don't want to use the magenta to make it orange, and I don't know how to get the smallest amount possible to change the color. Let's see what I've got. I know I've got some nickel azo, or azo nickel. I got bright gold. Did I bring the nickel azo over? I've got burnt orange. Let's try that. Uh-oh. That was seriously a whole lot more than I anticipated. Not only, not only that, I shouldn't have put that brush in my mouth. I think that burnt orange is a metallic. And I want someplace to test it on. I'm going to test it on my paper towel. It's mostly brownish. But it's not that far off from what I've got up there right now. I want something more red by far. I'm going to take a chance and grab some of this sun-kissed pink. And I'm not going to put that brush in my mouth again. And I'm going to add a drop. Oh, I added 2 drops. Let's see what it does. I was kind of hoping it would brighten it up some. Or shall we try it out? Someplace it won't show much to begin with. That's a good plan for me. I don't think that's the place to really test this theory out. I'm not all that interested in ruining the best parts of my painting by experimenting, but let's do a little tiny test. Right down there. I think the pink is next. I'm not too thrilled with this mixture, so I'm going to put it in the bucket, clean my brush out, and grab some of that sun-kissed pink and see what we can do with it. Maybe if I start with the pink and add a drop of yellow, I can get the orange I'm looking for. Alright, where did I put it? That's not it. That is Ruby Slippers though. Let's put this down. There it is, sun-kissed pink. There's 3 drops in there. I don't imagine the yellow is going to do much of anything to it, but I'm going to add a drop of that. And there's a little more. Okay, how about one more? 1 drop just sucked right in. 2 drops, 3 drops. Tiny little drops. And I'm looking for an orange to go in here. Here's the brush I had. Oh, that's nice. That's exactly what I wanted right there. Wasn't looking for the drip. Seems like I got a cat hair or something in there. Let's get that out of there. Where did that come from? That's... Alright, I'll paint till you're gone. And I need to get that out of there, and I've got tweezers. That's really strange. I'm going to tip that down. Oh, there's a filament in there. I didn't shake it well enough. There's all kinds of stuff. I don't know what I did. Maybe I put my brush down without realizing it and picked up everything in the world. I think it's time to clean my brush out and say goodbye to you guys for a minute. Clean that out. Or try. I guess I'm just going to leave that there and see how it dries. I say that, but I want to bring it down. Mellow the yellow out, strangely enough. Something called mellow yellow. Alright, I don't know what's next, but I think we're done for the moment. Although, I'm not really done playing, so I guess I can just do what I want willy-nilly. Brighten up that orange. Hello again, I'm back, and I mixed up some Cerulean Sea Jo Sonja Glass Varnish. 3 or 4 drops, 4 drops. And I also added a couple drops to Lagoon Blue. I believe the Cerulean Sea is a metallic. And I am going to just take my chances and see what happens over the other colors. If I hate it, I'll sponge it off. But I better be quick because varnish dries fairly quickly. I shouldn't expect it to cover much of anything. I just thought it would change the color up a little bit. And evidently I keep putting my brush down in something. I don't love it, I don't hate it. I'm going to make the best of it if I can. Either that, or we're going to find out very quickly whether I can wipe it away. I think I was in time. So where else instead? Better, way better. I've got some white down here. I wouldn't mind staining. Basically what I'm doing is adding, for all intents and purposes, a stain, and I like that. I'm thinking it might be kind of cool to stain that yellow if I can keep my turntable from turning too fast. Hoping my head is not in the way. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it is. Like I said, I think with time and practice, I could get used to brushes again. But it's been a long time. And I thought about erasing that overflow, but I kind of like the color of it, so I'm going to enhance it instead of erase it. Or at least leave another line there. I kind of like the little accidental lines. Well, that didn't work very well, but I'm not done trying either. I think best to give that a miss. I love this color, whether it's a Prizm pour or a Purley Pigment. And I will be definitely mixing some of it up with my regular pouring medium and using it that way. I seem to be dragging some texture, but I kind of like the texture. I was kind of wondering if I could drag it out to a dry brush, and it looks like I can. So far, whoa. Okay, that was not a plan. See little spatters in there, so I'm just going to use it. I was going to say I'm just going to call it good, but the truth is that I've got this other color and I want to use it. So I'm going to seal this cerulean C up and rinse my brush out. I changed my water while I was gone for a second. Dry my brush out to see if I can get most of the color out. I don't suppose this is going to be that different. Oh, this is a metallic as well. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Wow. The only thing about cheap brushes is they tend to lose their bristles very easily. Sorry about my head. So sorry. I'm only trying to look at what I'm doing. I'm just going to keep using what I've got. If I gain confidence, I can probably just add some strokes and leave the residuals without fretting. Try some of this over here too. Right on top of what I just did. don't have expectations of changing it too much because I know it's so dark. Well, I'm liking this. Just adding some subtle coloration variations. And I do mean subtle because I'm discovered that I really like just dragging the dry brush out. And I really don't mind leaving a line behind either. Not sure I mixed that as thoroughly as I could have. There, I kind of like that. I'm going to call it good in a minute. Or as close to good as I can give myself credit for right at this moment. I might be tempted to use this up. It is important how much pressure you put on the brush as you're dragging it along. I wanted to use some purple and I didn't do it. I think I'm going to indulge myself. And a little more turquoise on the white. Lagoon blue, was it? I like that mark. Lagoon blue. I'm kind of addicted. Sorry. I keep saying I'm almost done and then I don't finish. Very curious to see how this is going to dry. And I'm not minding the marks that I'm adding as I go along. I do mind if I create gummy areas. That's not cool. So you should probably let it dry in between completely before you add another layer. I haven't thought about that. Just dropping some in place. Finish my edges. Some other point in time. Well, I'm still not unhappy with this. I'm still having fun playing and it's going to go on forever, this video. In doubt, pounce your bristles. At least try it.
Oh, she stopped.
We have a dog with allergies, and he's busy removing fur whenever possible. It's disturbing. I'm going to just dot the rest of that right in there. Actually, I'm going to bring it right up, and then I'm going to call it good. As good as I can make it for this experiment. I'm going to rinse my brush out, take a picture. Always rinse your brush out, dry it out, rinse it more than once. That was a good experiment. May not be perfect, but it's pretty good. I see something I want to fix though, and I'm going to use the wrong end of the brush. Just to fill in that little white gap. Because it's got a beveled edge end. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay. I might have to do my next experiment without you just because I kind of freak out a little bit. Oh, let's put the right application on. I don't think that hurt anything. And it's got some good shimmer. You can't see the turquoise through the monitor. Oh my goodness. Wow, it's completely missing from my vision. Well, let's hope I can get a picture of it and show you in the thumbnail, because it's there, I promise you. Please give me a thumbs up. When you share my videos, you help me out. When you watch them longer, you're the biggest help of all to the YouTube algorithm, knowing that you want my channel to survive. My paint pouring recipes below show more. Thank you to my Patreons, my donators through PayPal, and thank you so much to all my members who are keeping my channel alive. On the link tree, you'll find Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links, a couple of my websites, all kinds of stuff. Questions are welcome and encouraged. I'm happy to answer your questions. Below the video you can find Spring, and the Gallerist and Society 6 and Spring can all have my designs added to their merchandise. If you'd like, just let me know and I'll add it if you can't find it. My 2 books are on my Amazon link. They're the first and the second 100 videos I made for YouTube about paint pouring. The first and second 100, yeah. Okay, that's enough. I love you guys. You inspire me always. And if you need something, just ask. I'd be happy to help you if I can. I love you all. Bye for now. Priscilla out.